Jeffrey wants to learn how to make money online, but he wants it fast. He wants it quick. And so he pretends to sell a special product, a special service that costs only $199.7. Why all f***ing products that marketers sell $1,997, man? He doesn't really believe in the product, but that doesn't cross his mind. Jeffrey focuses on the money that he can make rather than the value that he can provide. Adonis. Adonis is a world-class businessman. And you know what's interesting about Adonis and the other businessmen who are so incredibly successful? They focus on creating immense value. They focus on helping people change lives, and then they monetize that help effectively. The best entrepreneurs don't focus on how much money that they can quickly make. They focus on creating a long-term impact, and with that comes great wealth. I started all this as a business, as a means to make online income, where you can take a laptop and you can go travel around the world and you can do work in a cafe in Thailand. That was my goal when I was first thinking about making businesses. I went from working a full-time job in a complaints department that I would literally cry after my shifts, to then reducing my hours because I started making some online income, and then I started working a part-time job at a night shift homeless accommodation shelter. And on that night shift, I used to bring my laptop in and I would do more business work. I was learning how to code and I was doing drop shipping, and then I started making YouTube videos. I didn't make much money at all for the first months, even a year or so of YouTube. It was only when I read books on marketing and sales, specifically the book .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. I've recommended that book a lot. It was after reading that book and applying the principles that I learned, which I exploded my income through this business. I went from making like $1,000 a month to more than 10,000 a month. And I realized now that I made a mistake doing that. You see, the first way that I was making money through YouTube was with coaching. Coaching is kind of like when you do a one-to-one call on Zoom or Discord and people ask for your advice. So it's kind of like giving advice on a call. When I first started it, I priced myself below minimum wage. It was literally the smallest price that you could put on the website Fiverr, which I believe was like £3 an hour. Minimum wage in the UK for me is I think about £8. And it was £3 an hour, and I would often stay on the call for like 2.5 hours with the people who would buy my coaching service. So I was making about £1.20 per hour, and I loved it. I had such a good time coaching those original people because to me, the fact that anyone wanted to pay me to get my advice blew my mind. But as time went on and I was reading more and more books about marketing and sales, I started increasing the price of my services more and more, and especially through reading .com Secrets, I set up an email funnel and a lead magnet, you know, all this marketing shit. I started seeing comments of people saying that I was scamming, I was a charlatan, that my services were just overpriced. And it really got to me because it was at that point when I realized that the intention that I had of all this, of it being a business, was very short-sighted. I didn't realize the level of impact that we could create here. I didn't realize that we'd be making a movement that truly is helping so many people. As my time got more scarce and I wanted to devote myself to making these videos, and even though these videos don't take me a lot of time because I outsource the editing to my team of editors, I still have to read for hours a day to actually come up with the ideas, and I have to go implement stuff. So my life kind of revolves around making these videos, so I am somewhat busy in that sense. What I did was I heavily increased the price of my services, my one-to-one coaching, to the point that the price was quite ridiculous. It was $1,000 an hour. That's how much I value my time. I learned from some great marketers, entrepreneurs, and businessmen who value their time even higher than mine, and I looked up to that. So I value my time at $1,000 an hour, and I try not to do anything that produces less value than that, and that means that I can dedicate myself to what's most important. I still had the offer open if someone wanted to buy my one-to-one coaching, and every month or so, some like rich guy, successful guy would buy it to usually ask me questions about like diet, and they just wanted to have like a conversation with me, and I thought that was awesome. I'm not allowed to say who it is, but I literally had like somewhat famous like musicians and art, like some like high level people that I probably wouldn't have met otherwise. And when you step away from your PC after 1 hour of just speaking to someone who's asking you questions about diet, and you've just made $1,000, it's a very surreal experience. But then I was seeing more and more of people almost mocking that and kind of insulting me and saying like, no, but like he's charging his fans $1,000 an hour to speak to him. That's insane. He's like, he's a scammer and everything. Since then, I've completely closed off the coaching. It does feel weird for someone to pay me $1,000 to just speak to me. My intention just a couple of months ago, I was really thinking about coaching, and I was thinking that if I can make $1,000 an hour, my dad is working every single day for the entire month. He maybe makes like a few thousand. I could almost replace his entire month of work with like a couple hours of my work. And that's what I set up with this business income. Like the entire like family house, all the bills like I'm paying for. But I don't want that to be an excuse, because seeing the amount of comments that I've gotten about like my coaching service and how expensive it was, and you know, this idea that I've never wanted to be seen as a scammer. Like, I've always been a businessman, and I will totally admit that to you. People say like, oh, but Hamza's just trying to make money. Like, you know what, like, yes, you're right, I am trying to make money. That's like, imagine you were coming into your job and someone said like, oh, but he's just trying to make, well yeah. Like, you know, there's benefits and stuff. There's other reasons why I'm here, but like, yeah, 100% I'm trying to make money, man. Like, I was on benefits a year and a half ago. My trainers that I wear to the gym still have a hole in them. Still. So of course I'm trying to make money. I see my father working 12-hour days. I am an entrepreneur first and foremost. I was an entrepreneur before I became this cult leader. And so if you scroll down the channel, you can even see remnants of the times where I was way more of an entrepreneur, or I wasn't even a leader at all. I was just totally focused on entrepreneurship, making money online, because I didn't realize that it would get to this level. I've been blessed with this responsibility to lead what may be the biggest movement of young men in our time. And so now I'm not really thinking about money. I hope that's apparent to you, that you've seen, if you watched pretty much all of my videos recently, you probably might not even know which products or services I sell, because I just don't really speak about them that much. I hope that it comes across that way to you. When I see comments, and like one time I literally just recently I got an email. It was from an email thread that someone had asked me for advice. Like, a young teenager had asked me for advice months ago, and I replied, giving him advice, and then, you know, he didn't reply from that, and I received a recent reply from him just saying like, oh, I've done a lot of thinking and you're actually a charlatan, you're a scammer. Like, you know, when you're in the space of, you know, being an influencer and stuff, you do try not to let comments affect you, but like, that shit hurts, especially when it's like a bit more personal and it's through emails, and it's like, bro, like, I replied to your email and like I gave you like one-to-one advice for free. But I'm also using all of this as a very important lesson, as an indicator to balance entrepreneurship with actually providing free value and leading a movement. Because I realize that it is really like a scale, and you've got to choose which one you want to increase. I do not ever want to hinder the progress of our movement by just trying to make more money. That being said, making money is still a necessary evil, and the businesses do have to generate profit to continue growing. We have 5 full-time video editors. I have a personal assistant. We're getting a YouTube SEO guy. Plus the moves that we have for the end of this year are huge. So I give you my promise that I will try my absolute best to not be a salesman. That I still may have some good quality products that I personally believe in, that I'm sure like my boys will like, but I never want it to seem like you're gonna click on my video and it's just a sleazy, like the video is just kind of like a sleazy advertisement for something that I'm selling. I never want to sacrifice a video. You may have seen that on my videos, like, I don't really even have sponsors. I've done one sponsorship video before. You may have seen other YouTubers who are in the same space as me do advertisements and sponsorships for certain products. I promise you right now that every single sponsorship that you see on like a different YouTuber's page, those sponsored emailed us. We've ignored about 220 sponsorship emails. We've accepted one simply because I already liked their product. It's like a website that summarizes self-improvement books, which in my opinion is an absolute like 10 out of 10 sponsor for me to take, because that's perfect. Apart from that, you'll never see me advertise or what's that? Legend. You'll never see me fucking add like, oh guys, there's this NoFap software that you can shut the fuck up. There's this app that you shut the fuck up. I'm never accepting like a fucking sponsor from like some random ass fucking company that I don't personally use. I said this before on a live stream, unless the only time you'll see me accept some kind of sponsor that you'll think is weird is if the business absolutely needs the money to survive, which I hope we'll never get to that point, or if my family absolutely needs the money. If it's those two situations, bro, I'll be on this camera saying like, boys, I've just been sponsored by fucking OnlyFans or by Pornhub, and like, we like click on the link in the description, bro. I don't care. If it's gonna make the business survive, like, you do what you can. Otherwise, you know, the entire thing crumbles. Obviously, that's like a bit of an exaggeration. I wouldn't advertise porn. Nah, I probably would actually, especially if they put my videos on there. And a final lesson to any creator who's in this space, especially if you're quite a small YouTuber: hold out on making money. Accumulate this goodwill from your fans. Give so much free value that you've totally changed their lives, and then have a product or a service that you so utterly believe in, that you 10 out of 10 believe in. For me, that was coaching up until I raised the prices. When my price was a few £100s a month for my one-to-one coaching, I truly thought that I was selling like such a fantastic service. Just a few days ago, I was on a group call with a guy named Atik, who I did a one-to-one coaching with, and the level that his life has changed after that period is fucking phenomenal. It was so awesome seeing him, and I've not seen him for a while. He's made gains. He flew over to Dubai. He's reached like a great level of success. He's been so active in the Discord server. I thought at that time that I was selling such a fantastic service, but then I tripled the price, and I felt like it was in my mind, bro, if anyone pays for this, it's like, I knew it'd be weird. I didn't think it was worth that much money. When you think the thing that you're selling is not worth that much money, reconsider what you're doing. And so I'm sorry that I got myself into that point. I got too deep into the marketer and salesman life, and it's that idea of, yeah, scale it up, increase your prices, and focus on like providing more value, all this shit. I got too deep into that. So since then, you can't even buy like one-to-one coaching from me. The old links don't work. I don't even have like an active website or anything. The only one product that I sell is my aesthetic body course, which is like $197, and you might not even know about it because I don't try to like sell it to you much. If a video is specifically about building your best body, then sometimes I mention it. We get a fair amount of messages and emails from my boys asking if I do like one-to-one services. I don't sell that anymore, and like I don't take anyone on to do like one-to-one coaching or anything. That's just to clarify anyone who's looking for it. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.